Hello and welcome back. This new video is about sketching and I hope you watch it till the end because you get some really good information. So I'm making this video because two awesome artists out there on Instagram posted on a video I posted on Instagram before and asked me to do a video about sketching. It's John Sketchbook, this guy, and it's Art Filter, this girl. And at first I want to say something about what is in the video. So we first talk about the elements you can use, then about the shapes you can use and the variations of line you can use in the sketching. And also I make a sketch of everything I showed you and invite you to send me your sketches, so make sure you watch the video to the end to get to know more about this. So grab yourself a pencil, grab yourself a piece of paper and let's sketch together. Let's get started with the basic elements as I told you in the introduction before. So the first basic element we want to use or want to create is a tree, and you can do trees in many different variations. And for sketching I always do it the same way. I'm making a tree trunk like this, and start here on the top and just go down like this. So this symbolizes a tree. You can get into more detail when you do the actual drawing, of course. You can use this one in your actual drawing. I already did this before, I can show you here. Of course you can make trees different shapes like this. A third variation could be a dried out tree, so you make a trunk and go in different directions, and where the line makes a curve you can add another tree, a branch that comes out, and when you do it like this you can create a very nice tree. And yeah, here we go. So this is A, B and C, the first element you can use. So second, planet. I already showed you in the video before how to sketch a planet. Most of the time you make a circle. You can do it freehand. For demonstration purposes I'll use this tool here. And a planet most of the time is round, and you can add a shading. I showed you in the video before. If you haven't checked this video, make sure you click on this link here, right here in the corner. When you think of planets you also have to think of the moon, and there are many moon phases. So you just create a circle, and to create a moon phase take the same circle or a bigger one and cut the moon in half, create the other shape, and you have a half moon. If you of course erase this part, then you have a half moon shape. Or the third variation could be like a planet like Earth, where you of course add in the final drawing the shading again, like so. And you can add continents on it. I don't know, this is Scandinavia, and it goes down here maybe to Italy, here's Russia, and so on. A, B and C for sketching. It's only sketching, it's very rough, I know it, but that's what you need. The third ingredient can be mountains. And the first mountainscape you can use is a very basic one. Just use triangle lines and make them next to each other or overlap each other and stuff like this. A second variation is when you want to make a little detailed drawing on mountains. You can use the same technique actually, but then add a contour line to the mountain to give it a little bit more interest. Most of the time this is what you want for your drawing, because no mountain looks flat like this. Actually you can add a simple shape like this or not. And the third variation, C, is I think the most detailed, and you can add small peaks like this to the mountains and make the lines a little bit more crooked so the mountain looks a little bit more hilly. because no mountain has a flat surface or flat side like this, and you can variate those peaks and go from one mountain to the other and overlap them, and yeah, create a mountain theme that is a little bit more realistic than the other ones. These are the 3 variations on mountains. I got a 4th element. Actually, we could count this under planet, but I use it as an extra category because of the variations you can do with this. It's drawing the sun. Of course, the sun as well as a planet is a circle, and most of the time it's white. So when you make a dark background, make sure that you sketch the sun first and then add the black background. For example, when you want to draw a sun in the universe is of course black. So if you draw on white paper, you have to go this way, because if you draw it black, you have to draw the sun with white over, and most of the time this is the more convenient way to do it. And the 3rd way to variate your sun is by adding sun rays to it, and you do this by simply drawing lines that start on the edge and go away from the sun. And I think everybody has learned this as a 3-year-old, so no more explanations on this right now. But there's one important thing that you have to be aware of to get the direction of the sun rays right. It's to start in the very center of the circles here, so the line go away in a 90-degree angle, and if you do this, everything's gonna be alright. These are the basic elements I most of the time use as for my drawing, and of course you can combine them, and I will show you later in the videos how to combine them. But first we get to the second big topic. It's the shapes. Okay, here we go, second piece of paper. So now we get to the basic shapes. The first shape, of course, is a line, and you always should draw your lines with a ruler like this, but not for the sketch, of course. It's enough to make a line by hand most of the time. So, and these lines you can combine to shape number 2, a triangle. Like this. You can make it longer or wider, depends on what you like in your composition. And in my drawings I normally use a triangle where the sides are the same length. I think this one is the most harmonic to the eye. So, and you can create a 3rd shape of the lines. It's a rhombus. Actually, it's 2 triangles mirrored. So you make one triangle and you make another triangle, and when you leave out the thing in the middle, you have a rhombus. Pretty simple shape. So, and the 4th one is made of lines as well, but curved lines. You know it. It's the circle. I don't have to say much about it, so let's go to the 3rd topic. And the 3rd topic is line variations. Like I showed you before in the sun rays, you can do a kind of line variations. Of course, you can do the normal line. You can do the broken line, that's what I said. It's a line where you make smaller ones or bigger ones and dots in between. It's not consistent, it's pretty random, and I'm using this for sun rays. You can use this for any other thing you like. And the 3rd variation is the dotted line. So you make dots next to each other to create a line. Combine everything you just saw from the elements, planets, mountains, sun, over the shapes and the line variations, and create a sketch. And before we start sketching together, I'll make a short sketch to show you what I would come up with all those things we just created. I like to have a symmetrical composition, so I'm drawing a little orientation line here in the middle of my paper to get everything straight. And I think I'll fast forward this video a little bit so it doesn't get too boring for you guys watching me. And the only thing I'm doing here is using the shapes and elements and forms and lines from everything I showed you before, combine them in different sizes and positions and combinations to get a nice and balanced composition. And you can feel free to do whatever you like. It doesn't have to be symmetrical like the one I'm doing here, and you don't need to add any element like I do, so just feel free to make a minimalistic or even more detailed one. And to finish the sketch, I'm using a mechanical pencil to refine the edges, so the inking will be more easy for me. So now you have time to take a piece of paper and a pencil and a ruler and create a sketch that you like. And please send your sketches to me, because I will show them in the beginning of my next video, say something about it and maybe about how I would have done it, or if in my opinion there's something you could improve on your sketch. So just send it to this email address and I'm looking forward for your compositions. So that's it for today's video. I'm so excited what you awesome artists out there create with this tutorial and what sketches you come up with. I'm looking forward and I'm reading every email and look at every sketch, so make sure you send that email and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next video, and probably your sketching is in it. So see you in the next video, and I'm excited like I already said 3 times I think, and have a good day!